March 28th, 2025. How's it going, guys? Well, I got another video for you. And what are we going to talk about tonight? We're going to talk about Kansas City, Independence, Missouri. We're going to talk about crime. We're going to talk about drugs. We're going to talk about the homeless. Now, there's been so many incidents in the past week here. I have 50 incidents right now on my laptop, on my computer. I'm not going to be able to show all those tonight. And I'm running out of SD cards. I have actually 10 SD cards I rotate through all the different systems, and they're full. Not saying much, is it? And a lot of stuff going on. With all the incidents here in Kansas City, too, we've had a lot of shootings, a lot of deaths. I'll try to get you guys up to speed a little bit on a couple things here I've heard in the last few days that I would even like to know where it's going. You know, out here by the tool shed, there's I think it's called Executive Inns and Suites. There was a guy come up missing several months back. And they looked for his body. They never found it. But a couple days ago, they walked through that area again. And they did find some remains, but the way they made it sound, now I haven't, like I say, today I haven't been searched anything yet, so I don't know, maybe they've come up with something on this. But it sounded like they might have found some remains of a woman, not a man. So it sounded like it might not be his remains. You know, usually they can tell by the pelvic, bone down there and stuff, usually the size and shape. So, I don't know. But I wanted to get that out there first, and I was thinking, man, but we've had like shootings, like two. We had a couple guys shot out in the middle of the street, and then there were some other ones on and on and on. It's been constant. And I'm thinking, even if we have a day of nothing, we're averaging, I would have to go back and look at this, but it looks like we're averaging almost one every 24 hours now. Now, a couple years back, I did a deal where I actually went and calculated everything. I think we were running about 32 to 36 hours in Kansas City. For the population that's here, that's pretty high, guys. But let's get on with it. I got several things to show in the last week here. Like I say, I have over 50 incidents on my laptop that I can show. I don't know if I'll get 50. Maybe I'll get about 20 or 25. But what I'm going to show current tonight, we're going to talk about Gordman's and Toys R Us parking lot. It's still rocking and rolling. It ain't just rocking and rolling with drugs, but now we're dealing hot goods, probably. Now, why I say that tonight, I come up back where Toys R Us parking lot is. Now, I know at one time there was a group of them up there that were having their swap and shop, which was probably illegal anyway because there's no license for it. They're just all gathering in that one area. It'd be like them parking up at World's Fun parking lot. They wouldn't let them go in there. They wouldn't let them go up at the stadium, but they're letting them go in this vacant lot Independence is. And Independence was one day even driving through, and there was a whole bunch of vehicles sitting over there. Independence van, I even got an Independence van, city van, did nothing. Now, I've shown several times where the police have actually sat there, and it's been pretty quiet. But tonight, there was a Jose, a Latin guy, and he had a whole trunk. His whole trunk was full of DeWalt boxes. Now, guys, doesn't that just look a little suspicious? He's on his phone, and he had his trunk up, and I could see tons of DeWalt boxes. Could have been drills, could have been grinders, could have been anything, could have been sawzalls. And I'm going to show this car. Now, this was just a couple hours ago. Let me see what time it is right now. It's about 7:18, so about 5. Maybe around 5:30, maybe 6 o'clock. It was setting up there. So we're going to show that. And then I got several other incidents. They're still dealing drugs down here by the police station down here off 23rd and Chrysler. I don't know if I still have it on my phone. Like I say, I'm running out of space, so I'm going to have to wipe some of this. So I'm going to show all this. But there was 2 guys they were sitting down. They were homeless guys, and certain callers were pulling up, and they weren't getting money. Yeah, they were getting money. They were giving out candy. Yeah, not candy. Now, a couple years back, me and my son was coming back from San Caligon, and I actually caught two guys. Actually, I could see the pills they were handing out, selling. They're still doing it at that convenience store there. And the Independence Police needs to get on that. That's crazy. Now, this was a guy way back a couple of years ago was on a bike. I'm not saying that there's still another. Yeah, these were two guys. They were just sitting off to one side in front of the station. And I was thinking, if you had a convenience store, if I was out from out of town and I went into, and if I seen a convenience store and I seen two guys like that sitting in front, I wouldn't go up there to that convenience store and get gas. And I bet whoever owns that convenience store somewhere, they probably need to know about that because that's not good either. Everybody's got to do their part here. But if I can find it on my phone, if it hasn't got erased, because I've had a lot of stuff that I filmed and stuff, I had to delete some things. And we're going to show all this here. So let's get started. Okay, guys. So where we're going to start out here, I'm coming up here, and I want to show this vehicle. It's been sitting over here before, but this one's a vacant one. Now, this is over by Gordman's, over by the cinema. But that ain't, what I'm going to show is on the other side. Plus the trash is starting to build up more, guys. I showed that a few days back. But let's just go on from here. Let's just take a look at this. And I was thinking, So let's take a look at this as we go here on the side. We see this vehicle. You see this guy here. Now this whole trunk's full of DeWalt. DeWalt drills, sawzalls, everything else. I could see it. My son's vehicle sets a little higher than mine. I just have a car. He's got a, more like a little SUV. And I could see into this trunk. And this guy's on his cell phone. See if we can get that in a little bit better. But I just thought, man. And, shoot. This guy, he could have been down at Lowe's, could have been in the Home Depot. I guess some of those, what I understand, some of those tools won't operate. And they've got more security in place now. But I thought, man, this guy, you never know. Maybe he works there. Maybe he's sliding them out on the back end. I have no idea. But this, to me, would warrant in a vacant parking lot with the guy that's got a whole tons of boxes of DeWalt. Maybe Independence Police might want to take a look at this guy here. I don't know what is that like a little, I don't know, is that a Cavalier or a Cobalt or maybe a Malibu? It's white 4-door there. I don't know what that, it kind of looks like a Chevy, doesn't it, guys? But, I don't know. And see, that's all this breeds. And then I'll go back over here to this other, over here by the cinema. Wanted to show that, but this is what caught my eye tonight. And I thought, man, I got to get on this. Because I wanted to show you guys all this here. So, where do we go from there? I got so many, I don't even... Okay. Hold on, let's see what I can do. Okay, guys, and I'm not kidding. All those sticky notes you see there, right there. Oh, boy. So, let's just, like I say, there's no way I can get all this. But let's just try. This is last week here between, it would be between Saturday night and Friday night tonight. And we got up here, and Independence, I don't know what had happened to this car. I don't know if they'd stopped it. I don't know if it'd been a wreck, but it was just sitting there. And there was a couple of SUVs, and the police were standing out in the middle of the road and stuff, but there was nothing else around it. Now, I don't know, like I say, it looked weird. It didn't look like it had no front end damage, but it looked like they had some stuff underneath it, like it was leaking underneath it, like something like they put like oil dry or something. So I didn't know if maybe they stop this, chase this car or something else, but it was weird. I want you guys to see this. Let's see if I can tone this down a little bit so it's not so bright, so we can. There, the police they were way far on down. A couple of policemen and a policewoman there. They were walking back from this vehicle. And who knows what happened here, but this is by that great station over here. Now this is at, what is it, BP. I think it's BP. Now this is where I said I seen him dealing drugs again this last week. And this was in the daylight. Let me see if I can, I want you guys to see this car though first. Now see, there's the car. And I don't know what the deal was. You can see there's like oil dry and stuff, but it doesn't look like it got hit. I don't know. I mean, it just makes you wonder, did they chase it? Did they put those chopsticks out? Did they hit the oil? Because to me, it looked like there was like an oil pan, like something, and that was it. I don't know. But the police vehicles were way far back from that, sitting back, as you can see. I'm going to go back here just a little ways. See, they're sitting, well, they're what? They're about 2 blocks away. About 2 blocks away from it. So that was this week, and let me see if I can find those guys that were dealing the drugs look like. Hold on. I'm just going to give you guys one more shot of this, too, because I want you to just see a little bit better where you can see them. They were walking back. I know they're pretty strange to me. But hold on. Okay, guys. Right here, these 2 guys, one sitting over here, one sitting over here. And this car pulls up. And this guy jumps up. It goes over to the window and then goes back. Now this wasn't a money exchange like somebody was giving them $1. But this is notorious where they deal the pills and the drugs. And I just thought, man, I mean, I can't believe I'm seeing this again here in Independence here. I mean, this is, what is this, a half a mile from the police station? And they're letting this stuff go on? This needs to be stopped. Hold on. I tried to videotape it at first, but then when that guy jumped up, I snapped a shot of it. So hold on. Okay, guys, I'm going to try this. At least you can see him. And like I say, then I went to my photo, and that's when the guy jumped up to the window over there to the car door. And doesn't that look just ducky? Yeah, I mean, they're dealing drugs there. This is Independence, Missouri here. This is down on 23rd Street in Chrysler at that BP. They need to be watching it. I wanted to enlarge that a little bit so you guys could see this. Because some of this stuff needs to be stopped. And like I say, they use some of the homeless, move the drugs for them and stuff. And that's crazy. That is crazy. So hold on, guys. Okay, guys, we'll go on to the next one. This is about midweek here in Independence over here on Chrysler and 40 Highway. And going into the good old 7-Eleven. And we're going to show that. And this guy, oh, I mean, it's not good. And he's going to be over here in this great area over here he doesn't go all the way over by the pump, but he's over in this other area. I'm going to show that here in a second. He's on that phone. He's on that phone waiting. Not good, guys. Not good at all. Drugs are still flowing up there at 7-Eleven. They're still moving them. They need to be watching. And, oh my God. Let's see if I can back it up. Let's see if I can go and see if I can see it. Go through. Let me go to this next one. Hold on just a second. I don't know. You can't see it very good, but off to the side over here, there was a group of them, and but see, that's what all this breeds too. Wait a minute, hold on. What makes me wonder about some of this stuff too is, like the stuff that is legal. They got what is it? Their gummy pot deals, packages, and stuff. Here it's legal now. Well, off to the side here, let's see if I can get this lit up. They were throwing a bag of the gummies around over here. Let's see if I can show you. There's like 2 or 3 or 4 people. Like they had a couple pizzas and stuff too. Yeah, go get those munchies, man. Let's see. Hold on. But this guy, I mean, they deal, from the fentanyl to the other stuff. Watch this, guys. They're looking around. You think they just had the gummies? I don't think they just had the gummy bag. I think they had more than that. And they're sitting there and they're looking around, see if anybody's watching them. Well, you can't make this stuff up, can you? Hold on. Here's another one. There's a whole bunch of them on that deal. But they were throwing their gummies around over there, and I was just thinking I could... Funny. See, they always have... I don't know if that one guy was with them. Maybe he just approached over there to buy something else. I don't know. But not good. As you can see, they're exchanging something right there. So I definitely say Kansas City, Missouri, Independence, Missouri police needs to be looking at this. Let's see if I can... somebody I know brought out a cup pizza. I am pretty sure I'm not wrong about that, but I don't know if I'll see them. I don't think so. No, I don't. It's not going to catch it because I pulled forward. Shucks. But anyway, getting back to the other guy. And they're like I say, they're still working it. Let's see if I can go back here real quick and zoom this out. A little bit better. Let's see if I can lighten that a little bit. Let's see, I just can't imagine them allowing them to come up here and deal that stuff. Like I say, I see them exchange stuff all the time. I have now years of footage of them showing passing stuff even. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. But, like I say, isn't it amazing that, they're supposed to be just homeless? They're on those phones. They're moving that stuff, aren't they? Interesting. And like I say, let's not forget these 2 guys here, too. Yeah, they definitely need to be looking down there. Now, I will say one thing. Independence Police have been doing a really good job down at the other end, down by 435. They've had a police vehicle sitting down there, sometimes in the mid lane, and it's cut down on a lot of the drug trafficking down there. So, you got to give credit where credit's due. But there's some of this stuff here. This 7-Eleven, and oh my God, and the Gordman's and the Toys R Us parking lot, it's just it's a haven for them, definitely. All right, guys, so let's get on with this part. I was up in Raytown this evening, too, and this was just tonight. And, Raytown's had a whole bunch of, I guess, somebody's been stealing purses from women and stuff. And, I mean, there's another one of those smoke stores over here. But as I go on past here, okay, guys, and this is, down there by Raytown Water and their State Farm. I noticed this guy, and he's on the sidewalk, which I don't think... I know Raytown, Kansas City, Missouri's got their laws about their mini bike ATV. In Independence, you're not supposed to be on the street at all. But this is an older guy here. And this is an older guy, and he's on the sidewalk. Okay? And I'm thinking, well, might have been nothing to this, but then there might have been too. Because, see, when they allow this stuff to go on, especially, if they're on a vehicle, they should be either on a motorcycle, they should be on a bicycle, or they should be on a car. And I think it states even a bicycle is not really supposed to be ridden on a sidewalk. I mean, you can actually get a ticket for that too. But, I think, bicycle would be a little bit different. But, as long as they ain't one of those, $4,500 ones, some of them that they go up and down the street here, moving their drugs over in my area on. But I just seen this and I thought, oh man, and then I think, well, doesn't that kind of look, back in my time, we had dirt bikes, mini bike stuff. We rode them in our backyards. We had fun. Now, Independence, they banned that, for kids and stuff. They wonder why all this stuff happened. I mean, did the mini bikes really hurt anything, or the go-karts that people had in their backyards if their kids were riding on them? But these aren't kids. These are grown men, 30, 40, 50 years old on these bikes. And it looks like some kind of crud, like third world country stuff then. But if it was kids, out in their backyard riding them, that's a whole nother matter. I don't see nothing wrong with that. But this, yeah. And then it makes you, are they just sitting there? Are they moving the drugs? I mean, there are points here in Independence, Raytown, Kansas City, Kansas, all the way across where they deal the drugs and they move them at different locations. So, but like I say, this guy, I mean, it might have been nothing. It might have just been some 50-year-old man or 40-year-old man sitting up there, just drove up there to the intersection, sitting at the intersection looking at the lights. So I don't know. So hold on. All right, guys. So I'm heading back down 40 Highway. This is down by a tool shed. I noticed this. This is a street here. I don't know if I don't know if the city owns it or not. But what's weird is this vehicle right here. It's been sitting there a long time, and I made a comment about this vehicle before because I don't know. It looks like it's got maybe expired a temp tag. Maybe it's not expired. I don't know, but it just looks kind of weird. Between I think tool sheds and Independence, what I understand, because down here at Doc, so you guys can see it, I'm not looking at my tablet, so hold on. That's where Doc Holidays was. It's now a Sawdo's. Now it used to be called, first it was Doc Holidays, and it was a Players Club, and now it's a Sawdo's. But that's Kansas City, Missouri. I know, I was sitting in there one night when there was about 20 Kansas City, Missouri police, and 10 Kansas City, Missouri police vehicles were all over that place when a fight broke out one night. But I wonder about this, because if this is Independence down here, if the cars are not running or bandit, that's kind of different, But let's get on with this, because that ain't what I'm going to here to show anyway. But I was just thinking about that along the way here. So let's get on down here. So we're going to go drive through our great area. Going to go over by the bank here. We're going to cut across Nolan. And the first thing I notice, there's vehicles sitting in this parking lot up here. And some of them the same ones. So let's see here. But what really gets to me, Independence is driving through in their Independence van, city van, and nothing's even being questioned, I guess. Now, you see that blue car over there. See, there's a blue car. There's somebody sitting in it. There's this. And there's this is that one. This vehicle, this morning, me and my son left out a little after about, let's see, what was it? We got up around 5 o'clock. It was maybe about 6:15. And there's one of these vehicles was set. This vehicle, I believe, was the one it was, because it's got a weird, like, parachute deal or something on the back. It looks like some kind of biker deal, but I don't think it's a biker deal. It's like I don't know, maybe it's more of a military symbol or something, like a parachute deal or something on the back of it. But this vehicle's there, like, 5 a.m., 2 a.m., 12 at midnight. And I don't get it. I don't know. So we got one sitting over here. Now, what are these people sitting in these vehicles? And I'm going to make another statement here, too. We're going to talk about that for a second, too. You know, I was looking at one of these northern states where they were talking, where they have some problems with stuff. And what they've done, they've allowed people, if they are selling something legit, some of these police stations now are making in certain parts of their parking lot where people can actually sell their stuff safely. Now, that might be a good idea, something Independence or Kansas City, Missouri, or somebody else could maybe do. They might, I don't know. I don't think we have that. I've never seen it ever presented here about anything like that. I know that, if you're going through a divorce and you have kids, they tell you to exchange them in the parking lot there. But I don't think about just, and I thought, man, that's a pretty good idea. That could keep that riffraff down, because then all this stuff here would look really suspicious then, wouldn't it? Because then if you're in a vacant parking lot and the police are giving you an area parking lot where you can just go up and, if you got I don't know, say you're selling a pet taxi for a cat or dog or something, or you're doing something like, you'd be safer that way. Oh, well, we don't want to do that because this is something else, man. I mean, here we go again. I don't know. But this van over here is Independence. And there's a car sitting over here. Now, this car over here, this stuff over here, they deal drugs. And there's been a 18-wheelers. They're parking on the other side of the street. Now, if that food distribution place, supposedly, they got cameras over there and trailer. Why are they needing this parking lot? Well, if they need this parking lot, why don't they buy it? Buy it, put a fence around it, and then they'll have that land. I bet they don't want to buy that land because, it's easier for them just to, mess around and not have to do that and use somebody else's land. But see this vehicle up here. Now, I'm going to show this was an Independence. There's a person sitting in this vehicle. And in summertime, in the last 3 years, I've shown them dealing drugs here underneath this tree. Now, come on. Let's put a stop to it. Get rid of these people here that are dealing these drugs. I mean, that's just BS. But what kills me, you think you're going to scare these people off with this? No, you better have a police vehicle going through, because this Independence van here ain't going to bother them at all. I'm going to show that. You can see, you can see the writing, but that is on that door. It says Independence. And I'm just thinking, man, Independence, city vehicle there, and it's driving through. I don't know. So hold on, guys. Hey, I was trying to take my cell phone and see if I can magnify that more on that side there where it says Independence, but I can't. But I want you guys to see that, and I'm just thinking that ain't going to scare they're going to have to approach them, to ask them what they're doing. That ain't going to stop that. I mean, that's not going to do nothing. That don't bother them. So hold on. Okay, guys, so this last weekend, I went up to Liberty 3 times because I was doing something up there. And I don't know that much about, I know some about Liberty. And I know that, like I say, my father, he ran 11 convenience stores, filling stations for Hudson and Coke Marketing. I've seen so many guys come and go that, basically that were stealing from the stations and convenience stores and stuff and everything else you wouldn't believe. Learned a lot about, lots of different things when it comes to all that. And Liberty's no exception to any other place. But I wanted to say something about this. Liberty's police force, they do a pretty good job. And I wanted to show how much cleaner. I went down to this older area. I don't know what this older area is considered here at Liberty, but I just wanted to kind of show something good here for a minute, because there was hardly no trash. There was hardly, nothing like that around that you could see. And it was fairly clean. something positive here, guys. Look at that. And I mean, I can drive up through Raytown just like I was up just to Raytown tonight when that guy was on that. There's trash laying everywhere. There's stuff all over the place in these places. But I wanted to show that because I thought, man, that's pretty cool. That, this is the way it used to be back in the 80s. In the 80s, they didn't let people get away with stuff. They didn't let them throw trash out all over the place and everything. So I'm going to stop this right here for a second. But I wanted to show that. Now, like I say, Liberty's got their thugs and drug dealers and stuff too. But this looked pretty clean. And I just wanted to show that. And like I said, I wanted to put something positive in here too on this because, I mean, it really caught my eye. I mean, I'd give them 2 thumbs up in this one little area. I don't know what this is. It looks like it's maybe the older end of Liberty or something. I don't know for sure what that would be classified as you go in up there. But that's kind of cool. So hold on. Okay, guys. So this is a couple days back. And like I say, there's some regulars that go up and down the street, but then there are some druggies and some homeless that Independence needs to be looking at in between, like between up here at Chrysler that goes over to 40 Highway, to Northfleet, to up there by where the old Strike and Spare used to be. And like I say, on East 47th Street South here. But that ain't what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about some of these houses that were bought out. Now, I've noticed something in the last couple of weeks, which is really weird. Some of these houses supposedly sold, okay? They weren't all just ones bought up by somebody that were renting them. But then they become vacant again. And I find this very, very weird. I noticed, I was going to show something up here. There's a trailer and there's a house right on the other side of where this, what I would call, they fly a flag, it's called the God's house, okay? And that house has a notice on that basically the window. I don't know if it was eviction. It doesn't look like, it looks like something else more, or like if something like the city would take it over. But what I find interesting is all these houses from this side and this side were bought out by someone. And then they started renting to a whole bunch of people. Lots of people. And most of these houses over here are either 2 or 3 bedroom. All the ones that you're looking on the north side that I'm showing right now are pretty much 2 bedroom. This one up here actually was owned by Russell Carr. They had the Russell Carr, what am I looking to say? He had a car wash. He had a car dealership. He had a bus before he died. That's why this wall was built here. Originally, the whole backyard originally was a swimming pool at one time. All these people have no idea. They're, like I said, some of them going up and down are so drugged out. They have no idea what was here originally. And this house, then they filled that pool in and stuff. But they actually used to get up on top of the roof of this house when I was a small child, and they used to jump in that pool. But I'm thinking about what did they bring in here? And who bought these homes, and what are they doing about it? Because some of these houses have a lot of people, and it seems like they're still piling in on some of them. So this is Independence, Missouri here. Of course, trailers too. You're not supposed to drop trailers alongside the road here or on the grass. You can't park. You're not supposed to be parking any cars on the grass here in Independence. There's ordinances for that. But anyway, just another thing to talk about here because it is a little bit strange, And it's strange that they can't get a handle on this. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I've been doing this for 34 minutes now, and I still have, like I say, I have about 30 more incidents here, but wanted to show this one more time. Something that they need to be looking at up there, Toys R Us and Gordman's parking lot. I mean, this guy probably having a field day with those DeWalt boxes there. So hold on, guys. All right, guys. So we're going to wrap it up. Lots of stuff going on here in Kansas City and Independence, Missouri. I got some other videos that'll be coming out. I'm going to be talking about some basically metaphysics. And if anybody's interested, I'll be posting those down the line. But lots and lots of stuff still going on. Definitely out there when it comes to drugs and stuff. Crime. So anyway, guys, keep your eyes open. This is Independence, Missouri. This is Kansas City. Stay safe out there.